Welcome to Real Talk with Hagir, and I am so happy that we were able to bring the one and only Tom back. Welcome, Tom. I am so happy that you are coming back, and we're going to continue that conversation because you are not just an interesting human being, but talking to you feels so natural, and the time went fly by. So, can you introduce yourself to everyone? Tell us who you are and why are we here today again?
Well, thank you, Hagir. I appreciate that. Tom Dardick, and what I really would like people to understand about me is I'm on a journey, just like every other human being on the planet. I've always been a student of the human condition, and that's led me down some paths where we've built some systems and tools that are what I would consider fairly unique because I don't see them anywhere else. But I do think they're grounded in what's true about us human beings and useful to both individuals as well as organizations who want to come into greater alignment so that they can, for us humans, that means that we have more of our agency. We can be a more beautifully expressed version of ourselves.
This is said beautiful, but for anyone who didn't understand what you're talking about, can you simplify it a little bit?
Sure. If you think about your life, and you think about the things that you really love about your life, and then you think about the things that you don't love about your life, what are the contributing factors that you either did or didn't do to have more of what you love or less of what you don't love? And we call that agency. We call that the ability to make things happen the way that you would like to make them happen. Okay. Now, one of the problems is telling the difference between what we can control versus what we can't control. And that's where a lot of times we get hung up. But the basic idea is, do we just accept whatever cards we're dealt? We go with the flow and just float along, which is a way, that's an option. Or do we set our sights on a destination, learn along the way, and perhaps arrive at a destination, a little different version of ourselves? And if we do so in a way that is aligned with what's real and true about ourselves and what's respectful about other people, we end up at that destination a better version of ourselves. And I think that's kind of what the business of life really is. We want to manifest more of what we call the four universals. The four universals are truth, which we want to find out, what really works, what's real, what's not. We want to experience more love. Now, I don't mean love in the sense of we love each other.
Yeah.
That's great too, of course. But I mean love in the sense that we recognize the unique value of other people and appreciate that. And then beauty, which is the recognition of harmony and the way things work together. And finally, efficacy, which is the ability to get things done, to move things, to have some we call personal power in the world. So those are the universals that we'd like to move towards. And then the systems I'm talking about just help us do that.
Can I have that universe now?
We all have those
Yes.
things. But if you want more of them expressed for yourself and other people, this is what I'm talking about.
No, we want it to be the one universe that for everyone. I like that. And if you all like what you hear, check out Tom, and we're going to put some links so you can connect, learn more about what he does on a daily basis and what he's working on. So you are working on something unique or new right now.
Yes.
And I know you can share a lot.
Sure.
What can you share?
So we have, our company is called Mentor Machine Incorporated, and we have a protocol, a way of operating as a team, as a group. And as we do that, we help each other get past those things that would hurt us or keep us stuck or not, that keeps us sort of from being that more full expression of ourselves.
Okay.
And the problem we all have, Hagir, is that we don't see our own blind spots. Right? So we don't know what we don't know, and we can't see the areas that we can't see. Everybody has them. It's not a character flaw. There's no getting around it. And so because of that, we need other people. We are social creatures by design. And so the thing is that in order to help each other, we have to have trust. We have to understand that I'm rooting for you. I'm on your side, right? I'm not trying to get that promotion so you don't get it.
Yeah.
Or, get that toy because, I used to have siblings and we'd fight over the toys. So now my pattern is I get the toy first. And we're just playing that pattern out and we don't know about it. So we have all these things. And so we needed to come into our conscious mind and then take the actions, small actions over time that help us create new loops, new patterns to manifest more of what we really know would be better.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. And how are you planning to, or your model is going to help people to get there?
Yeah, so pieces of the model have been used, and we know what they do, and we have empirical data, of course. The science and the principles behind them are well established, but the way it's put together is new. So we're looking for foundational partners that we partner with, not like they're our client and we're selling them something.
Yeah.
It's more like we come together and co-create together, using this with their people. It's because it's for organizations.
Yes.
And so we work in ways, we call it the mentor-machine ecosystem. And so we install these sort of disciplines and these ways of working that allow people to move down a path in a healthier direction.
Okay.
To be more internally aligned and more aligned as a team.
Okay. So what would that entitled of? Like, say, for example, if there's an organization out there that like what they heard, they want to hear more, or they want to know how that partnership or relationship will work. What would you say?
Well, I'd say that, first of all, it starts with a conversation. And that conversation is really meant to find out whether or not we are philosophically aligned, whether the conditions in that organization are going to be fertile enough to plant these seeds and have them grow. Not every organization is ready for something like this. Yeah. It requires a certain amount of maturity and discipline and really, I'll just call it kind of an awakeness, essentially, by the leadership. And people have to kind of be willing to look in the mirror and recognize what it is they see.
They're missing or what they're seeing.
Yeah, if I'm, for instance, if I'm a leader, or if I'm part of a leadership team and I have a part of myself that's just off limits, that I will not talk about, look at, or anything like that, that's probably not going to work too well.
Yeah.
Now, we don't have to have every single person to make the foundational partnership move, but we need the spirit to be dominant, that we are tomorrow going to be better than we are today, and we're committed to that.
Okay. So I know this might be a lot for a lot of people, and it's, it will take listening and trying to understand to know how does this work. But during this whole process, you as a leader and as a human being, you probably face some things that I personally can relate to, or any of our listeners can relate to. Would you care to share, like, the process? I'm not talking about details about your work, but
my personal journey?
Like, your personal journey, or like how you kept yourself aligned. I'm sure you faced struggles or, disappointment or things that made this a little bit harder, like obstacles on your way. How did you overcome those? How were you, if you overcome all of them?
It's funny, I just was talking about this, the particular story on my own show, where I had a partnership with the communication gym, and I was always frustrated. We might have talked about it in a previous conversation, where I was always frustrated because we had this kind of program that we would teach interpersonal communication skills to people, and it worked. It worked well. People would have these breakthroughs, and they'd have a breakthrough, and then they'd have this great story, and then we wouldn't see them again. Okay. And it's like, and this happened more than once. This was common, and we had the same problem that any gym has, right?
Yeah.
If you go to a gym and exercise, and you'd keep doing it, it's going to pay dividends. You can't not have actually benefits from that invested amount of time and effort. Same thing that we had. but I noticed in a gym, ours was no different than Planet Fitness or anywhere else, only about 1 in 5 would actually come in. Everybody else would be too distracted by the demands of the day.
Yeah.
And that frustrated me. I was like, there's something wrong here. I just felt that. And I kind of fell out of love with the how to do things and more enamored with why, more directed towards purpose. And that's where I started my consulting, is trying to help people connect to purpose.
Yeah.
Why does this matter? Why would I do something? How does it help or hurt myself or other people? And what can I do to make it better?
Yeah.
And so that was sort of a learning curve. And then my curve didn't end there, though, Hagir, because I didn't ever call myself a coach or a consultant like that, because I kind of had a negative connotation towards it. And I'm not saying that there aren't good coaches and consultants. There are. Some of the best people I know are, help people in this way. So this is not to throw shade.
Yeah.
But for me, I always felt like it was sort of cheap to be able to go in, do a diagnostic, say, okay, just do this, give them some things to do, and then no matter what happens, I get to just go home and not worry about it, and they have to sit and stew, and whether it works or not, I'm not affected.
Yeah.
And I didn't really like that. I wanted it to be something that was more like this, together. And so I feel like we're finally there where we're getting it where it's together.
I like that.
And I want it to be like that.
Yeah. And that's if that showed me, and hopefully everyone out there, that consistency, having, like, you set a goal and you work towards it. And regardless of how life is moving you around, the struggles, anything that you go through, deep down that this is going to help many people. And this is what you want to do, right?
Well, it's like this. This is a big shift for us recently. I used to think that it's because people didn't know. Like, if I told them this, taught this, if they learned this lesson, if they realized, if they had this model, or if they had this new way of thinking, that would make the difference. And I don't really think that anymore. What I think is people are basically close to whole already, and they just need to learn how to discover what's real and true about themselves and get the things that are stopping them in their way out of the way. Okay. So it's not so much adding skill or adding capability or learning this new thing. It's more like, this is real and true about me, and this is what I'm doing that's not allowing that to express itself more. So it's more like a revelation than it is a training. Okay. So it's a different kind of an approach, and I think that's an important element. Is you're already whole and complete, and we just need to get you through the loops that are sort of unconscious habit patterns that we have that take our energy, and rather than allow us to keep growing and moving or keep going in the direction we want, what it does is the loops will direct it back in, so we stay in place. We're sort of like stuck because we do this loop thing, and so people need help getting past those loops, and that's done by just what you do, with help of other people taking actions that break those patterns. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Your face
lit up when you talked about this. Does this bring happiness to you, what you do?
It's the kind of happiness that we at the Mentor Machine call alveia. Alveia is a term that we use for the specific kind of fulfillment that comes from getting good at something, using your personal gifts in a way that makes you feel good. Like you feel like, wow, I got this, or yes, there's really nobody that can do it this way specifically that I do it. Yes. And I think that's a universal. I think everybody has their thing that they can do. Maybe a lot of people have many more than one, but what I mean is they have a set of gifts that they can tap and use in a way that no one else can, because no one else has walked in their shoes like they have. So no matter who you are, you have a unique perspective, a unique set of circumstances and experiences that gives you a way of doing things that no one else in the world can do but you. And when we can get a handle on that, develop it and feel like, okay, I got this. I'm coming into myself that way. That's what we call either mastery or competence. So that's one element. Then when we can take that competence and that mastery and contribute to a shared mission or to people that we want to better their lives in some way, we're contributing to help other people in some way. That's the second component. And the third component of Alvea is that we need to have some feedback, acknowledgement, recognition that this did actually help somebody and they appreciate it. So that's the acknowledgement piece. So it's mastery plus contribution plus acknowledgement gives us that feeling of Alvea. So what I experience is maybe parts of it because it's new. I don't have, it's not out in the world operating right now. So that's what I'm looking forward to. So I don't have the complete feeling of Alvea yet.
Yeah, you do.
Well,
Yeah,
in this specific way, I mean.
Getting to the finish line will be a whole different happiness.
It's going to be a different thing.
You are.
I can see it.
And that's, yes, exactly.
I can see
you
it.
can see it, you can feel it,
Yeah.
you just looking forward to making it happen.
Yes.
And that's something we hear, everything we do, like I asked you because you know how they say game recognize game?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Happy people and satisfied people recognize that as well. Because everything we do here is the things that we love.
Yes.
We enjoy. Yes,
Passion.
You're going to do something, of course, because you have to do it.
Sure.
Right? Just like washing dishes and cooking and cleaning. Not my cup of tea. But the things that you do on a daily basis as your job, and we are lucky to be able to sit there, you, me, Maya, and Nadir, to say, we are doing the things that we love. Bring us happiness, joy, and we can actually see how is this affecting people? And the satisfaction you get from hearing somebody. Like yesterday, a young lady walked in and rang the door, and Maya went and opened it. She came and she's like, we wanted to talk to her about her son. She had a son on the spectrum, and she said, we've been struggling, and she was in the Uber. Listen to this. She was in the Uber.
An Uber driver? Or
Uber driver.
She used Uber to come here?
No, not to come here. She was taking a trip with an Uber driver, and they got to talking, and she was telling him her son is on the spectrum and how there is not a lot of stuff here, and she, they're struggling. And the Uber driver told her, he's like, have you heard of Kareem's mission? Where's my mic? Let me drop that mic. Mic drop.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing you want to hear.
When you get to the happiness and joy that Maya got from just hearing that and running and telling us, that brought joy to all our hearts, sitting there. You're making an impact.
Yep.
But then you see the level of some strength, like an Uber driver, giving the name of the mission and the center, giving
That's
her
wonderful.
She looked us up, she came here, and now she's going to come and bring her son here. So the impact, it doesn't matter if it's one person or a million.
Right.
That feeling, I really want everyone out there to experience it, to find what they are passionate about, what they love. And a lot of people think of service as not something fulfilling because they think about their job, paying the bills and all of that. Try to volunteer, try to do something that help other, and you will see that smile that you see. And look at both of us. We're both smiling, right?
Well, it's a wonderful
feeling. Out of joy. It is a wonderful feeling. So,
and the nice thing is that it doesn't have to be Kareem's mission could make a big difference in the community.
Yes.
Or, we already are helping a lot of people, but could get really impactful.
Yes.
But it still works even if it's just one person that you help.
Yes.
It's still the same feeling. So it really doesn't, we don't have to put a judgment in terms of, this matters more than that in this sense. It's just, if it feels good to you, then it counts.
It does. It actually does. But now I am more interested in knowing about you.
Okay.
You all talking about the work, But who's the person behind that work?
Well,
The musician. And don't get back. We're going to time him, okay? And we don't have anything to make you drink, but we're going to penalize you. And you guys in the comment, tell me, how are we going to penalize Tom if he mentioned work? We're talking about Tom. I know you have a lot to offer. You're a musician, band. I want to know about that. I want to know about you.
Well, I would always start with family. I mean,
Okay.
my wife and I have 2 kids. They're not kids anymore. They're adults. Very proud of both of them. My son is married, lives in Pittsburgh. He works for Castle Biosciences, and he's doing real well. He had a struggle in life. He got kind of sick in high school where he had chronic fatigue, and it was related to Crohn's. And it took us a while to get a handle on it. And it was bad. He couldn't walk for a while, and we didn't know if it was going to be permanent, and it was a problem. He has infusions now to control it and lives a normal life, thankfully. But that was a episode.
Yeah.
And then my daughter is in 3rd year in vet school at University of Florida. And so she is one of these people that she knew what she wanted to do when she was 4 years old. So she came into this world with an agenda. It wasn't something she got from us.
She probably did.
And she made it happen, and the world is going to next year get a vet that's just absolutely fantastic.
Like her dad.
And she's married too. Married a guy from the Air Force, and we don't have any grandchildren yet, but that's the story.
Mm-hmm.
And then what else should I say? As far as my passions are concerned, I mean, mainly I've been working on the business lately, but yep. But
what the penalty should be?
I need a buzzer or something.
This is not Wakanda forever. This is. I need that. Okay.
But when I'm not, I am passionate about music.
Okay.
One of the things I really
Now we're talking.
what I really love to do is I love to go on music cruises. And music cruises.
What is that?
So it started with a cruise called Cruise to the Edge. And Cruise to the Edge started in 2013.
That sounds scary and fun at the same time. I want to go there.
Yeah, no, to me it's like the best thing ever, because now if you've ever heard of the band Yes or the band Genesis, the 2 guitar players from those 2 bands got together in 2013 and got some friends of theirs, and they all did this cruise, and they call it Cruise to the Edge. And it's a play on the words Close to the Edge, which is an early Yes album. So anyway, so every year, with the exception of COVID and a few things, they've done this. The first one I went on was in 2022, so I'm relatively newcomer to this thing. And what it is, it's a floating music festival. So they'll get 30, 40 bands on this cruise. This particular one tends to be 5 days. So it's concerts all day long, every day, on the boat. And you're hanging with the musicians and the fans, and this is all progressive rock is this genre. And there's people that are young, and there's people that have been in it forever. And it's just a very special event. And so I have this one coming up in March. I'm going to have, so the last one last year, I went by myself.
Okay.
The previous 2, I went with 2 of my brothers and another person, different kinds. But this next one, I'm going to have my son, my nephew, and we're going to be in a cabin, and then one of my brothers and his 2 sons in another cabin. So there's 6 of us.
Oh my God.
And that's going to be in March. So very much looking forward to that. So I have 3 younger brothers. I'm the eldest of 4. And so the next one down, his name's Scott. He lives around here, so I get to see him often. He's going to be on the cruise.
Okay.
And then my next brother down is Greg. He's actually one of my partners in the Mentor Machine.
Okay.
And then my youngest brother, Chris, he lives down, and Greg's in Connecticut. And then my youngest brother, Chris, lives in West Virginia. He works for the USDA. He's a scientist. He and I wrote a book together, and we're going to have a novel together, and we're going to do a couple of sequels on that. So,
You see how casually he said that? I knew all this information. That's why I know there's more. It's like, yeah, we wrote a book together. What is the book about?
So the book is called, the novel is Sudden Onset is the name of the book. And it was born from an idea that Chris had. He, as a microbiologist, basically, his specialty is in plants and genetics and virology and understanding plants. He helps plants grow better and help us understand how to do that. He's helping NASA with the manned mission to Mars. Turns out you can't go to Mars on just prepared meals. You've got to bring your way to have fresh food. Yeah.
Dang it, I gotta change my trip to Mars now.
So this is a problem. This is a hard thing to do, and so some of the things that he and his team are doing are helping in that way. So I'm real proud of him, obviously. But he noticed as he was going through his career that the view through the microscope, in other words, the workings of life, is every bit as jaw-dropping and awesome. And I mean awesome and not just a casual word. I mean invoking awe as the view through the telescope is. You know, we're learning through the Webb telescope and even before that with Hubble how just really stunningly huge the universe is. It's way, way beyond what our little heads can get around.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing going the other way too. And he had been sort of what you'd call atheistic. He thought, we could explain everything and, there's material things, reasons for everything. And as he learned about the workings of life, it brought him to really believe in God. Because I remember he told a story. He said he was working with a colleague, and she observed that a protein, which proteins are little molecular machines. They do jobs. So in a cell, let's say, we all have these cells, right? Everything's made up of cells that's alive. Inside the cell, there's all these structures, and these functions happen in the structures. Cells need nourishment, and they got to use the nourishment. They have to hold their structures together, and they got to get rid of waste products. So his colleague noticed that there was a particular protein that carted out a waste molecule and then changed its job and became part of the membrane structure. And so her question was, what's the mechanism that causes the difference? Because we're talking molecular structure here. So what's the controlling thing that tells it, do this job, then do this job, then do a different job? And she was wondering about this. And Chris said to her, well, what do you think it is? And she said, well, if I didn't know any better, I'd say there's an intelligence that guides everything, but it can't be that. So what is it really? And no matter what the answer is to that question, it made him think, and it made me think when he told me the story, that, wait a minute, there is more to this world than meets the eye. We don't know, none of us know what the mechanisms are, but it's more than what we see.
What we know,
Yes.
more than what we
Yes.
know. Thank you everyone for watching. We will be back with round 2 with Tom, and always remember to be the change that you want to see in the world.